Because did they take into account ethnicity? Okay, those numbers differ based on your ethnic background, right? What is normal, as we said earlier, is also not the same as what is common, okay? And it's definitely not the same as optimal. Now remember, and I'll try not to say this too many times, I don't deal with disease. I deal with I'm not in a disease state, but I want to get better and optimize. And why I'm drawing that distinction is because on a blood test, you're looking for, do you clinically flag for an actual metabolic disease or otherwise, okay? Most of those things are set against that. And so their reference ranges are built off of databases like the UK Biobank, like NHANES here, who are generally not healthy people. And the people that are in those data, in fact, we actually ran this and published this last year, that in the NHANES database in America, at least, the people that had the muscle mass had no association between their muscle mass and their exercise history, which means these people did not gain muscle by exercising. Now, some people exercise in these databases, but you're talking very, very small numbers. In addition, when they build reference ranges, so they're building it off of populations that are not the healthiest, and as you're aware, our world is not getting healthier. So those numbers are moving, okay? Now, when they build a reference range, they use typically most companies, by the way, every company that you get your blood draw from has a different range. So they're not all the same, okay? So it's not like, they're not nefarious. It's just like they have different databases to pick from. Many companies will give you a reference range based on their own database. Okay, so all you're seeing is what's normal for the people that bought their lab, right? Not population, okay? And they use a 95% curve, which is to say 95% of people land within this bell curve. And so if you are within that, you're normal. 2.5% at the top, 2.5% low. So what that could mean is you could be in the 94th percentile and be told you're in the reference range. Easy example is something like blood glucose, okay? Now, a normal blood glucose is going to be in the mid-80s rather. 80, 85, something like that, okay? Technically, you're not going to flag on most people's databases until you get past 110, 120, 130 plus, you're actually in diabetes. And so you can come and flag for 108, and technically, medically, you're not diabetic yet. You're not pre-diabetic yet. But there's no world on this earth where somebody has a fasting blood glucose of 108 and they are healthy. Or they are optimally healthy, we'll say, right? That is, in fact, we have strong evidence. You get past 95, you're starting to increase your risk of oxidative stress, retinopathy. Tons of issues happen with a consistent fasting blood glucose over 95. And so a great example of that would be, you would be within the reference range there. You'd be told you're normal. And then I would look at it and be like, that's absolutely suboptimal. Is it clinically, officially diabetic? No. But I'm telling you right now, to perform at your absolute best, that's not the range you want to be in. I'm going to make it worse for you. So the reference ranges are one particular concern. The second one is, and the reason I brought this up with vitamin D. Vitamin D is okay. It's low. You push it up. No problem. Most of your markers you don't want to do that with, though, because physiology is responding to physiology, which means something moves something up, but then it moves something else down. In the way, it's the push-pull thing. So if you don't know what you're pushing up, you might be pulling something else down. You're pulling something else down, it might be pushing something else up. You don't know what you're doing there. So you don't want to treat those markers as A